Hello and welcome to Trial TV Live. I am the Squeegee of Justice. Thank you so much for joining us as we are continuing our coverage of Massachusetts versus Brian Walsh. We are in day 2 of the afternoon. Morning session ended at 1 o'clock, and at 2 o'clock we are expecting the court to come back into session. There is a snowstorm hitting Boston right now, but as Judge said, it's a nothing burger. As she checked the forecast, and she said it was a nothing burger. So it looks like we thought that they might let them go at lunch, but apparently they're not going to. So let's get back here. So we're on break until 2, and if you were, let's see, let's make sure we're live, because we had to end that stream because we lost our internet there briefly for literally about a second, but it was enough to kick us off. So welcome back in. How's everybody doing? It was a nothing burger, yes. Green-eyed cat, hello, glad everyone found us again. Yes, it was a nothing burger. Yeah, it seems like I checked my radar at 12:30, and it seemed like it was more than a nothing burger. They were getting sleet, but it is Boston. I mean, they are used to their snowstorms, right? Blizzards, I should say, even. Let's see, right now. And there's Denham. Yeah, I mean, they're just getting yeah, it's like sleet. Sorry, it's just sleet. Icy rain, just very nasty. Certainly not something I would want to be a part of, but that's what you get, right? Yeah, it's a big storm, you guys. Big storm. Big old storm. All right, so welcome back in. We use both. Iowa, we use both. It depends on the application, but yeah, we use both of those. Fan is still going strong. Yes, it is. All right. The fan is going strong. It's off center. The off center fan. It's a very off centered fan. I feel like I missed out on music. Let's play some music. Let me go over here. Play some music. Play some music while we wait. Oh, we also missed out on our little kitties. Gotta show you this. Little Roger and little Beanie. Oh, Super Ball making an appearance. What's up, kiddo? She's gonna go his eyes on that. All right, I'm going to come back on now. Put the music in the background. 2 o'clock, they are usually pretty punctual. Usually they bring out Brian around 3 minutes before. So whenever he comes out, let me just make sure I'm live. Yep, we're still live. Usually they bring him out about 3 minutes beforehand. So it surprises me that here we are 2 o'clock and they haven't brought him out yet. Let me see here. Okay, yeah, they're still the other feed. Looking at some other feeds, and they still have the off-centered fan, the off-centered lonely fan. Yeah, usually she's been spot on. I mean, Judge Frenier runs a very tight schedule, but whatever, we'll be here. She just got us used to them being on time. All right. Let's see. Nana, did you figure it out? Did you figure out your volume? Hopefully you got that sorted out. Sparkling Princess, yeah, she's very punctual. And actually the entire court is. Jaron says you were going to heat up something in the microwave and open the fridge door. Yeah, I've been there, done that. And not so many words, but yeah. Jenny Lynn, thank you for the warm welcome in to Jenny G. I will take all the warmth today. Goosebumps all day. Yeah, there's nothing worse than just not being able to get warm, right? Not getting warm, not being able to warm up. Seagate, Judge different than Bev. Yeah, it's really interesting the different judges from courtroom to courtroom. You didn't have your volume up. Okay. I worked in I worked as a sound technician for a long time, audio engineer, audio support, and I learned a lot. And one of the first things I learned, A, is it turned on, B, is it plugged in. That will probably solve 90% of your problems. So that could go with anything, any kind of appliance, any kind of electronic device. Probably even like cars as well, mechanical. Is it plugged in? Is it turned on? Check those things first, and then come back to me. And then now with the internet, it's refreshing. That's the other thing. Refresh. That's another big thing. Is it turned on? Is it plugged in? Have you refreshed? Have you cleared your cache? And if you do all those things, then come back. And if you still have a problem, all right, then we have a problem. But yeah, turn it on, plug it in. Yep, is it turned up? That's the other one. Yep, that's true. JRN, that is true. Crazy Mary Jo dug out a cashmere jogging suit. Nice. Do those even exist? Cashmere jogging suit. I can only imagine. Pammy, and do a hard reset, right? Oh yeah, did you reboot? Yep, that's another one. Yep, refresh if you have a web page that's giving you problems. Empty your cache, get rid of your cache, and then did you reboot? Refresh the application, refresh the application. All right, so usually when he comes in, it's usually about 2 or 3 minutes before the judge comes in. So we'll see. It's 2:03 right now. Flannel shirt or cashmere jogging suit. I'll pass. I don't have no need for a cashmere jogging suit. Buy a new computer. There you go. If all else fails, buy a new computer. You bought it in Paris in February 2006. Wow, 20 years old. Nice. Reboot, reformat, reinstall, redo. There you go. All the R's. Turn it off and back on. No, I do not have to pick. How about neither? Okay, I choose neither. Yeah, when all else fails, shut down, wait 10 seconds, reboot. Right. It's why your kids call you Lucy. Is that after Lucille Ball? And then there's the factory reset. JP Rabbit sending warmth 83 degrees in South Florida. Yeah, I miss those days. I miss the South Florida days. Although I don't miss not having my AC on 24/7, 365. We literally would have our AC on just constant, all the time. All the time. AC would be on just all the time. So I have to say I do not miss those days. I like having my AC have a little bit of a break. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Waiting for Judge to show up. Paris was dynamite. Half price sales in February. Well, just being in Paris. I mean, yeah. Paris in any day, any month of the year would be nice. Sharon, it's all relative. It's all relative. We lived about a half mile from the ocean, so we always had a sea breeze. So we wouldn't be that hot. We'd be like, 90 would be hot, but like inland would be like 95 to 100. So we always had the breeze as well. A red and black checkered jogging suit. Can you imagine? That would be really funny. A flannel jogging suit. There you go. A flannel cashmere jogging suit. Like Paul Bunyan. That's really funny, WG. I like that. I like that concept. Oh, here comes the judge.
Yeah.
You are unmuted.
Thank you.
Start with the milk. I'm just going to stay here for now.
Thank you.
I can see the lawyers at the side of them.
Flannel, yes, a flannel cashmere, a red and black checkered flannel cashmere. No, does that even exist? Crazy Mary Joe 5 times to Paris. Nice. Aussie Gardner, sea breezes are the best. Yeah, they really are. Joe, being 60 plus, in your day you'd whack the back of the TV set and all was good to go. Yeah, that works too. There's been many times I've used the old fist to. I'm sure there's a joke in there somewhere. I think there is. Fist to repair something. Bam, 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 bam. You got to hit it just right. Like Fonzie, remember Fonzie? You would just hit the open doors, right? Or to get a car to start, you just hit it just the right way. Hey. Red and black checkered cashmere jogging suit. Yes, adjust the rabbit ears. Yeah, we had rabbit ears. I remember rabbit ears. Jennifer, are you in Walmart? Is that what you're telling us? Are you in Walmart? Richard, you need a parka and an igloo with these window people here. Oh, replacing the windows. Oh, bad timing there, my friend. Ouch. Widespread, I kept looking over to see if you were back, and I missed the stream restarting until just now. Oh, widespread, I thought we were talking about it in our chat, in our mod chat. I guess, did we not? Anyway, yes, widespread, we're back. Oh, Jennifer's in Walmart. Careful, careful, careful. You're in Walmart. JMS, you live right on Long Island Sound. Beautiful sea breezes during the summer. Yeah, right now I bet it's pretty chilly, but yeah, the sound is beautiful. Oyster Bay. I'm familiar with Oyster Bay, Amagansett, and Montauk. All right. So we did post it in our mod chat. All right. It's all good. Widespread, you weren't paying attention to anything anywhere. I was getting in a quick workout. Fair, fair. Your black cashmere jogging suit is beginning to sound boring after the black and red checkered. That's funny. Allie B, it was a kitty that turned off the stream. It was. It wasn't Comcast. It was Kitty. Who can we blame it on? We'll blame it on one of the sleeping. We'll blame it on Super Ball. Super Ball is always the culprit. Northwest, a secret mod chat. Gonna need to hack that. Of course we have a secret mod chat. Well, it's not secret. All right, here we go. Court's in session.
Oh, yes, please. Thank you.
All rise for the court, please. Jurors entering.
One in my head, one in my hands.
Put us back in session. You may be seated.
And you may proceed.
Thank you very much. Marino, I just want to finish with that. Can you just remind me of the exhibit number in front of you on the binder?
Yes, it's Exhibit 79.
I just want to finish with Exhibit 79 with the going back to initially page 598, record 2193. If you could just tell me the title for that.
Yes, Patrick Kearney, Google search.
Okay. And going then to page 600, record 2198.
Yes, this is Patrick Kearney, Wikipedia.
And could you please tell me the date and time for that?
Yes, January 1st, 2023, 11:30:57 a.m.
And in the course of your investigation, did you do anything to determine who Patrick Kearney was?
Yes, I did.
And what did you do to determine who Patrick Kearney was?
I went to the Wikipedia site that the user of the laptop went to.
And what did you learn?
That Patrick
Overruled.
Kearney was called the trash bag killer.
Thank you. Trooper, I want to ask you if you were able to, I want to ask you about what day you received your search warrants from the court. You had previously told us that it was January 10th of 2023. Is that correct?
No, I messed up the days.
What date was it?
I got the warrants on January 9th. I did the device extractions on the 10th.
Thank you. So that's still of 2023?
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you very much. So, Trooper Carino, you made a forensic copy of the iPad Mini 6. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
And that was item number 7 that you gave in the lab. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And after getting that search warrant on January 9th, how did you make the forensic copy of the device of the iPad Mini 6?
So I used GrayKey, which is specialized hardware and software, to extract the information from the device so we could look at it later.
Okay. And what date did you use the GrayKey?
That was January 10th of 2023.
Okay. And can you just explain the process to the jurors of using the GrayKey?
Yes, so we get the device, we plug it into the system. If a passcode is known, you enter the passcode. If not, it has the ability, depending on iOS and Apple product model, to brute force the passcode to guess it. And it can take anywhere from days to years.
Okay. And then once the information is extracted or a copy is made, what do you do with the data?
So we save it from the GrayKey server to our secure server so we can load that into whatever forensic software we want to use to look at it, whether it be Cellbrite or Axiom.
Because it's not in a readable format at that point, is that correct?
That's correct. It's in an encrypted zip file.
Okay. And where is the actual device now, that iPad Mini 6?
That's at the Norfolk DA's office evidence room.
Okay. And after you made the forensic copy, then what did you do?
Well, the device would stay in evidence, and then we would load that, like as I said, into our forensic software to start looking at the information.
And what software did you use?
I use Cellbrite for this one, their physical analyzer.
Trooper, had you previously examined this device, that same device, the iPad Mini 6?
Yes, I had.
And when was that?
January 7th of 2023.
And how did you have possession of the iPad Mini 6?
It was given to us by Brian Walshe, the police.
And what forensic tool did you use when you first examined the iPad Mini that Brian Walshe gave to you?
I used the same products. I used Gray Key for the extraction, and then Cellbrite Physical Analyzer to view the data.
And at that time, did you have the password?
Yes, I did.
And what was the password for that device?
121212.
And after making a forensic copy of the data, what did you do with the iPad that the police received from Brian Walshe on January 7th?
Devices were returned to Brian Walshe.
And was that same device in the Walshe residence on January 8th when you executed the search warrant?
Yes, it was.
And how do you know that it was the same device?
So when we plug a system into Gray Key, it creates a progress report showing the date and time that we plugged it in, the process it goes through, and creates a PDF. When we plug that same device in days later, as long as the extraction has been deleted off the server, it rereads and knows this is the same device, same serial number. The hash value for the information may be different because time has changed, so user input and changes to the device will show. So,
but the serial number is the same.
Yeah, serial number is the same. The Apple ID, the model number, all that stays the same.
And who assigns the serial number?
Apple, when it's manufactured.
Okay, so when you examined the device on January 10th, after the search warrant issued, did you determine who the iPad, whose Apple ID, for this iPad, whose Apple ID was associated with it?
Yes, I did.
And what was the Apple ID?
BRW at 10saleconsulting.com.
And was there a device name?
Yes, Brian's iPad.
And when you first examined the iPad Mini 6 on January 7th, what was the Apple ID?
The same, BRW at 10sale Consulting.
And what was the device name?
Again, the same, Brian's iPad.
Were you limited in the dates that the search warrant allowed you to examine?
Yes.
Judge, objection on the sidewalk.
Sure.
All right, so they're getting into the iPad Mini 6 now. That's Brian's iPad, and it's 121212. So yeah, is he a musician? Is this mic on? Is this mic on? Sibilance. Patrick Kearney, Google search, January 1st, 11:30 a.m. He is known as the trash bag leader. We looked him up before the break. He had a penchant for younger Hispanic males. So now we're talking about the iPad Mini 6, and that's Brian's. Jots down, I am stupid 1, 2, 3, 4, determined to discover JRN's identity. Nice. You guys are funny. Let's see here. You cannot use the past 10 passwords. You cannot use the past 10 passwords. Sharon, I have to focus. I am missing a lot of info. There are things you're all saying I don't get. Yeah, that usually helps is when we focus on the trial. It helps me, that's for sure. Instead of getting caught up in chat going sideways. They're really arguing over this one. Jenny G says, one of your accounts, I had to set up a 14-character password with no repeating letters or symbols. It took me forever to figure out one that they'd allow me to use. It was frustrating. Wow. Yeah, that's where you go. City I was born in, high school I graduated, pet's favorite name, year I was born. Just go on and on and on. I don't mind using strong passwords anymore. I've kind of gotten used to that. Just use I used to not like the strong passwords, but I've been using those lately too. Yep, pet's first name, favorite color, all of that, JRN, absolutely. Grandma's maiden name, yep, that's a good one. Or if you're Chris or Aaron, just name each of your cats. Widespread says, yes. First car model, favorite movie, right? Do favorite movie. First crush. Mother's maiden name, that's a big one. Did you guys ever watch Mr. Robot? That was a good series. Where he was a hacker and he would just like watch you and he'd be able to hack into your system, your cloud, just by watching you, if you were nice with dogs or you liked wine or whatever. Allie B, your passwords are your date of birth. You should make them one off. Or like if your date of birth is, 11/2, 80, make it, 10/3/81 or something like that. Or 11/3. Yes. Yep. That was a good one. Lazy Boys. You saw it. That was a good series. I enjoyed it. All right, so Pammy uses her birth date, but she goes backwards. Allie uses her birth date, but she goes forward. Amy, how long is it supposed to take? They said 3 to 4 weeks. Surprisingly, they said they were ahead of schedule yesterday, and they only had one witness, and they said they were ahead of schedule. Go figure with that. Go figure about with that one. Father's middle name. You guys are telling us way too much information about yourselves. We'll be able to hack. We'll be able to hack into all your stuff. You use sentences. That's not a bad way to go. Love Remy. Yeah, he's good. He is good. Sharon. Yeah, sentences they say are pretty good. Using phrases that nobody else would use, like, yesterday I fell from a cliff. No hacker's going to get that. Or Tuesday, Super Bowl climbed a tree. Right? Nobody's going to get that. Yeah, CCG. This is a big one, right? This is a long one, I should say. Oop. You okay? No, don't. You can't walk on that. You're going to fall. Houdini's learning walking on a grid is nothing solid. Her little toes not going to work. Pammy, come on and just try. Is this where I do the Mr. Burns? Silver Fox. Password is the squeegee of justice. I can't believe I never thought about that. Iowa, 15 minutes behind cashmere camouflage tracksuit for the squirrels. That's hilarious. Your password is Chris loves flannel and molds. Don't forget Walmart. Don't forget Walmart. You guys are killing me today. Karen, they say now not to use passwords like mother's maiden name and such. Too much info, easy to hack. That is true. Chat has me rolling on the floor today. Flannel's my favorite. Yeah, see, I got you. I fooled you guys. See, I fooled you. Now you'll never hack me because I actually love flannel and Walmart. I go Walmart every weekend. I live in Walmart. That's where I live. B. Cooper, you go with rock bands. Do you combine them like the Rolling Beatles or Led Cooper? 9-inch 9-inch Nirvana. Taylor Hind. It'd like be like Marilyn Manson, right? Choose just do a mishmash of stuff. But what do you do about one name bands like Tool? What do you do with them? I guess you could be like Tool Swift. Taylor Tool. Yeah. Yes. My password is I love Walmart. Easy. You're telling me to easy. You're telling me to take it easy. Walmart isn't open on the weekends? I don't believe you. You're lying to me. You're lying to me. Don't tell me that Walmart isn't open on the weekends. Taylor Tool. Right? That would be that'd be a good password. Taylor Tool. Whoop, we're back.
Trooper, the warrant that you wrote, that you sought, you limited the dates to 12/25/22 through January 8th of 2023 for the data that you could look at. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And so you followed those dates when you were doing your search?
Yes, you're able to edit the information down to that set time frame.
And so you did an examination of the web history for the iPad mini, is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so you did it for both initially for when Mr. Walsh had given you the device, and then you did it again when you sought a search warrant. You did 2 extractions of that and analysis, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And, Your Honor, that has been marked as exhibit number previously as exhibit number 80.
And noting the prior objections, any new objections? That's item number 7, is that correct?
That is item number 7, the iPad mini. Thank you.
Okay, so I now marked and in evidence as exhibit 80 is the extraction for item 7, the
Thank you. And my,
iPad mini 6.
may I approach, Your Honor?
You may.
And Trooper, I'll show you the cover has report 1 and report 2. And there's a yellow piece of paper that divides that.
Okay.
Can you just tell me the difference, report 1 and report 2, when those were done?
Yes. So, report 1 was just an extraction of the web history that I created to send out in email format on January 7th. And just go to the next page here.
So that was from when Brian Walsh gave police the device.
That's correct.
And report 2?
Yes. Just get to it. And report 2 is post that. This has a date of 11/10/2025 using, again, physical analyzer for the web history.
Okay, and that's from the search warrant content, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, and what makes the PDF reports different, besides one was given to police and one was based on a search warrant?
Yeah, so Cellbrite and all of these companies, they come out with constant software updates. This is a far older version of Cellbrite that I used. This is just a newer version, so it might have some columns extra that the older version didn't have.
So you're pointing, and if
I'm
you
sorry,
could just
yes.
if you could just use your words.
Yes. Yeah, so each report has different columns. It's the same information, but it's just extra. It may have an extra column of information. That's the only difference.
So the second report in the file, that software was updated, is what you're saying?
Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay. So you said that the binder contains the web history from the iPad. So those are the same? The web history is the same?
Yes, nothing was taken out from the web history. It's whatever was there from that date and time frame.
Okay. And the binder, you said that the binder contains the web history from the iPad. And what had you looked at with the MacBook? Also web history?
Yes, it's the Safari Web. It's just called a little different in Axiom, just how they name it.
Okay. And what did you find between the MacBook and the iPad web history?
So the web history for the iPad, other than numerous more YouTube videos, had the same searches that we saw that are in the MacBook.
Were you able to determine which device, the laptop, meaning the MacBook, or the iPad, the searches originated from?
Yes, I was.
How?
So initially, I had only looked at the iPad first and had believed that they possibly had come from that. By extracting the database from each device and then loading it into a SQLite browser, which is another program to just view the databases, I was able to see that the MacBook had a designation of 0, showing that it originated on the MacBook, whereas the iPad did not have that. It had an unknown source.
Okay. And what did that indicate to you?
That the MacBook, all of these searches that were done on the MacBook were native to that machine, not from another device coming over.
So what did that indicate that had happened with the iPad?
Well, that due to the Apple IDs being the same in both devices, the iPad during setup must have had the sync function on because it was able to sync the web history to the iPad, but not the iPad to the MacBook.
And what does sync mean?
Synchronize. Apple makes their products so if you use the same Apple ID on your phone, your laptop, and your iPad, it shares all the information, so you're not constantly switching between devices.
If a user does not change the settings, the data can sync across devices that are signed in with the same Apple ID? Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So if you look back at the big binder, that being Exhibit 79, and you look at like record 2365 on page 650. Thank you. It says,
What's the record number we're looking at?
2365, Your Honor. It says in the, I'm sorry, if you could go up, Ms. Gilman. Yeah, 2364, I should have said. In that URL, it says channel equals iPad underscore BM and source. What does that mean?
So it's reading that channel is iPad underscore BM. BM stands for bookmark or favorites. So it's that the Google search engine is a favorite in the iPad.
Does that show that the search originated on the iPad then?
No.
So why is that appearing?
I'm not 100% sure of how or why Apple codes it this way, but it's that the iPad and the MacBook are synced, so the iPad has Google as its saved bookmark search engine.
Thank you. You can take that down. Thank you very much. Did you forensically copy the iPhone 13 mini and iPhone SE pursuant to a search warrant?
Yes.
And these are Apple products?
Yes, they are.
Okay. And are you familiar with an iMessage?
Yes, I am.
And what is the difference between an iMessage and a text message?
So the iMessage is going from Apple device to Apple device, whereas a text message is going Apple device to an Android. You'll know this if you have an Apple phone, you get the blue messages, and if you send it to someone who doesn't have an Apple phone, you're getting the text box is green.
So what was the process that you followed to make a forensic copy of the phones?
The same as the iPad, plugged it into GrayKey, did the extraction, and then from there saved it to our server and would be able to load it up later into Cellbrite to analyze it.
Same process?
That's exactly right.
Okay. And could you forensically copy both phones at the same time?
No, as I said, we only have one GrayKey machine, so we have to do one device at a time.
Okay. And then were you able to look at the device on a program like Cellbrite?
Yes, that's what I use, Cellbrite Physical Analyzer.
And had you previously viewed the data on the iPhone Mini 13?
I did a cursory look with Trooper Connor Keefe, but I didn't go deep into it.
Okay. And how had you accessed the iPhone 13 Mini previously?
The iPhone, the same way. It's through GrayKey, downloaded it, and Cellbrite Physical Analyzer to view it.
But had Mr. Walsh given that to police?
Oh, yes, that's correct.
Okay. And when was that?
January 6th or 7th? January 6th, I'm sorry. 2023.
And you had worked, you said, with Trooper Keefe on that?
That's correct.
All right. And did you have a password for that iPhone 13 Mini?
Yes, we did.
And what was that password?
1975-12.
And were you able to determine a phone number for that iPhone 13 mini?
Yes, I was.
And do you know the phone number?
Yes.
And what is that phone number?
617-939-8646.
And what is the Apple ID for that phone?
So there were two listed, Diana_Walsh at Comcast.net, I believe, and then Brian R. Walsh at gmail.com.
So that's not the same as the MacBook and the iPad.
No, that's correct.
So what's the significance of that?
Well, that the phone wouldn't sync to those other two devices.
Did you examine the device to see if the iPhone Mini 13 was used on January 1st and 2nd of 2023?
Yes, I did.
And how did you do that?
I pared it down by date and then looked at the device events.
And were you able to prepare a report?
Yes, I was.
And how did you prepare that report?
I exported the device events from the phone from Cellbrite Physical Analyzer to PDF.
Marked as Exhibit 81.
Any new objections?
No,
What's the item number on this one, since that's what I've been keeping track of these?
Oh, the item number on this one is five.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The extraction for item 5, the iPhone 13 mini, is now in evidence. It's Exhibit 81.
Your Honor, might Ms. Gilman display this?
She may.
Thank you. If you could just do the top columns. Thank you. Trooper, what is event type?
The event type is what the phone records, what it did. So shown here, device lock. Shown here, device lock status.
What is value?
What happened with the phone? So showing the first one is showing unlocked.
What is additional information?
If the phone recorded any additional information, the account was plugged in or anything, it would show in this column here.
What is AC charger? If you could go down just a little bit, Ms. Gilman. A little bit more. Keep going to AC charger. Thank you. What is AC charger?
So line 5 shows the charging method, and it shows that it was plugged into an AC wall charger.
What is that?
Like when you plug in at home to your alternating current in the wall.
Thank you.
Sorry.
What is USB port?
That's the charging method. It was plugged via USB port to charge the phone.
What is source?
The source is the location of where the information came from the device, like how it recorded it.
So there are two options, I believe. If we could see knowledge C and biome?
Yes, it's two different locations how Apple stores data. Knowledge C is the main database. Biome is a secondary repository for the information.
And what is deleted?
If the event was deleted from the phone.
Going through the report, what event was associated with this device on January 1st, 2023 at 7:57 a.m.? And these are all converted UTC times, correct, for Eastern Standard Time?
That's correct. If you look, it says UTC -5 in the parentheses.
Thank you. So 7:57
Yes.
a.m. So that's device number 2?
Yes. So it shows 1 and 2 show the same items. 1 just shows the start time, 7:57 a.m. The device lock status, the phone was unlocked.
And how long was it unlocked?
Approximately 2 minutes.
And what time does the device become locked?
7:59:45 a.m.
And after the device becomes locked, what happens next to it?
8:09:12 a.m. on January 1st, it is plugged in.
And then what happened?
It recorded two charging things 2 seconds apart, and then after at 11:23 a.m., the device is unlocked again.
Okay, and then what happens?
It is then locked at 11:24:15.
And then what happens?
The device is 12:38:40. It's unlocked again on the first.
And then what happens?
And then it's locked again at 12:39:20 on the first.
And then does the phone get unlocked?
Yes, 12:45:20
And then what happens?
and locked again at 12:46:49.
And then what happens?
It is unplugged on the first at 1:42:02 p.m. and then unlocked on January 2nd at 2:25 p.m.
How can an iPhone be unlocked?
There's two ways, Face ID or by inputting the passcode.
Trooper, in addition to your digital forensics work on this case, did you transport evidence from the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner to the crime lab?
Yes, I did.
And generally, what did you pick up?
I believe there was 7 bags of rug, some metal, tissue, and I believe hair.
And how large were those bags?
The bags of rug were like not as big as a lawn leaf bag, but a large brown bag, and the other ones were smaller.
And when was that?
January 11th of 2023.
And where did you take those?
To the Maynard Crime Lab.
And what did you do when you arrived at the lab?
I turned them over to Crime Lab staff and filled out their intake paperwork.
And did you submit those for processing?
Yes, that's correct.
And you got a receipt for that you
Yes.
dropped those off?
Yes, they gave me a copy of the intake form.
If I might have one moment, Your Honor.
Yes?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Cross-exam?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
I think I'm going to stay here for a while so we get a good recording. I want to talk to you about this timeline, this date that you referred to. You applied for a warrant from 12/25 to January 8th of 2023, correct?
That's correct.
And when I said 12/25, of course I meant 12/25/22, correct?
Yes, 2022.
And when you draft a warrant, you are the one that picks the dates, correct?
Depending on the investigation, it can be yes.
Okay. And you were asked that question, that you applied for the warrant, and those were the dates that you requested.
Yes.
Now, it's fair to say, isn't it, that once you began an investigation in a case, and if you learn more information, there's nothing stopping you from going back to a court and applying for a further warrant, correct?
It would depend, because the courts have shown that we need to have a specific time frame, so I would need some information to show why I would need to go back to write for an earlier time.
Okay, well, but if you have that further information, nothing stops you from going back to the court and asking for a different warrant that encompasses different time periods.
Yeah, I could.
Okay, now, one of the things is that you don't have any information to tell this jury about of any of the data on the MacBook that originated before December 25th of 2022.
Confused by your question, so sorry. Yeah.
The data that you're telling this jury about today, you've said it a couple of times now, it's limited to 12, 25, 22 through January 8th, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So that's the data you're talking to them about, correct?
Yes, I only viewed that information.
You would agree with me, wouldn't you, that you have the entire contents of the MacBook, don't you?
I do have the contents.
And how far in date does the content go back on the MacBook?
I have no idea. I didn't look.
Because you limited your warrant to 12, 25, 22.
That's correct.
So if you thought, as an officer involved in an investigation, that there might be some important information that predates 12, 25, 22, you have every right, and there's a procedure for you to go back to the court and explain to the court why you think there might be more information back before 1225 and see if you could get a warrant to cover that earlier information.
If I had information showing that there was more, then I could, yes.
Okay, and you never did.
I don't believe I had any other information showing that I needed to.
And you didn't have any information that you thought it would be important to your investigation to go back before December 25th, did you?
For my role, that's correct.
Okay. So, when we heard about, for instance, this Pornhub search that occurred on 12/27, remember that?
Yes, sir.
And we heard about some other Pornhub reviews, like Chattergate, correct?
That's correct.
And something about Miss Bell, correct?
About what?
Miss Bell?
I don't remember it off the top of my head.
I'm sorry, Miss B.
I still don't remember, but okay.
Okay. Do you remember seeing record 831? Do you have? I apologize.
I don't have that book up here to see it.
Let me ask you this.
Okay.
Do you remember seeing also a reference in the very same data that you've told this jury about that talked about a movie called, or something called, Slade, Dominant, Scarlet?
I would have to see it, but could I double check it?
Well, this pedestal doesn't work quite right.
I have my copy. If you want to just tell me the page, I can look. If that's
You know, I do apologize. I'm going to give you the page in just a second.
Okay.
I don't know
What,
why.
832?
Thank you, Judge.
Sure.
What was it? I'm sorry.
832.
Oh, record 832. I'm
Record
sorry.
832.
I thought you said 832.
No, it's on page 227.
Thank you. All right. All right, I'm there. And yep.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Sure.
So now I want to focus your attention to record 831
Yes.
on page 226. Do you have that?
I do, sir. Thank you.
And it references something called Slade, Dominant, Scarlet, Straps, Cecilia. Right?
That's correct.
Okay. Now, you didn't testify about that to the jury, did you? Today, on direct examination.
No, I wasn't asked.
Okay. Morning. You would agree with me, wouldn't you, that when you look at these searches involving Pornhub, that in fact there's a number of and I keep referring to them as searches, but let me just ask this. There's a number of web pages that refer to what I'm going to characterize as pornography, correct?
It's about 10.
Right. And am I right to say that that cheating wife reference, what's the entire title of the cheating wife reference?
Cheating wife seduces another man to impregnate her. Scarlet Scandal, Seth Gamble, Erotica X, Pornhub.com.
Do you have any idea how that particular porn movie, whatever it is, do you know how it came about?
The only thing I could say is that Pornhub was viewed and that video was selected.
Okay. You would agree with me, wouldn't you, that there is no specific search term for cheating wife, is there?
Well, it wasn't in a Google search. It was through Pornhub, so it doesn't record that.
Okay, so your answer is I agree with you, or yes.
That there's no specific terms listed? That is correct. The video was there.
Because you've already told this jury, and they saw it in a number of examples, that when the user enters a particular search term, the user, that it's a particular word, and then there's generally a plus sign that attaches it to the next search term, correct?
Only in the Google search engine.
Okay. And with regard to this movie Cheating Wife, there is no indication that the term cheating or the term wife or anything else was used to get to that movie.
As I said, I can't view any terms that were put into Pornhub, so it only shows me that search query in Google.
And let me ask you this. In part of your investigation, did you ever go and view some of that movie?
No, I did not.
Okay. But you did testify that there were times, like for other searches, you went and followed the document and the links, and you reviewed the document.
That's correct.
But with regard to this movie, you have no idea what this movie is about, correct?
That's correct.
And you don't know, then, prior to December 25th of 2022, how many times, whoever was looking at the MacBook, how many times they frequented porn movies at Pornhub, do you?
I didn't look at any data prior to December 25th.
Okay. And you don't know how long this person that was looking at this movie, how long they viewed the movie, or if they viewed it at all.
I do. It shows me a time frame of 7 minutes.
Okay, 7 minutes. And how long is the movie?
I have no idea.
So someone started watching that movie, they watched it for 7 minutes, and that was the end of it. Is that your testimony?
That's correct. And then I went to that Slade dominant Scarlet video.
Okay, and that Slay Scarlet, do you recognize the fact that there is some actress referred to with regards to the cheating wife name that's also named Scarlet?
That's correct.
So it's fair to say, isn't it, that you have no idea as you sit here today whether the person who is looking at this Pornhub video, if they're trying to get access to movies that have perhaps their favorite actress or anything else of the sort, do you?
I don't know who this person is, so I have no idea.
So your answer is no.
That's correct. I don't know.
And quite frankly, Trooper, isn't it fair to say that when you open up some website like Pornhub, it comes open and it has all of these possible selections you can make?
I don't know. I'm not a peruser of Pornhub, but sure it has options.
Okay. So you have no idea what options were presented to the person that opened up this page, do you?
No, I don't.
But yet, it was important enough to include it and the data that you put into that binder?
With the information that we knew, yes.
Okay. And that information, let's just cut to the chase here, is because of the word cheating wife, isn't it?
That's correct, sir.
Okay, so just the fact that there was a phrase involving cheating wife, that to you was something that, okay, let's just include that in all this data and throw it out. Correct?
No.
Okay. So you didn't take the time to look to see what the movie was about. I understand that, correct?
That's correct.
You didn't take the time to see if the actor in the other movie, Slay, Dominant, whatever, was the same actress in the other movie, right?
That's correct.
So you really just said, oh, I see the phrase cheating wife, and so I think that's important, so I'll include it in my data.
I'm going to object, Your Honor. It's a time frame.
I'll see you at the sidebar, side of the bench.
So he's trying to make the connection between he didn't watch the movie, so he doesn't know if it's connected to the cheating wife. I mean, I can see his point, and I don't think law enforcement should be embarrassed by saying, yeah, I watched it. You don't have to watch the entire thing, you know. You could watch the first 10 seconds, go fast forward to 30 minutes in, go to the end. Yeah, it's that kind of film. It's an adult film. I made sure that it wasn't, cats being strung up. I made sure it wasn't, whatever. That the title actually matched the content. I don't have a problem with that. But I think he's trying to make this connection. Mr. Tipton's trying to make this connection between this cheating wife and this movie and these searches. Very, very specific searches. Scarlet, Straps, Cecilia. I mean, those are really, really specific searches. So he was into something very specific. But why? Okay, so then the next question is, why is he spending so much time on this? I mean, if anything, that just proves that Brian had a wandering eye, and this wonderful marriage wasn't maybe so wonderful after all. I'm not quite understanding why he's doing that. Well, you know what I'm saying. I'm trying to think of the worst of the worst, You gotta, or involves children. I don't know, something.
So, first, my apologies, because I'm afraid that my question is misleading the jury. Go back. This binder that has been marked as an exhibit contains the entire contents of what you found on the MacBook between the dates of 12/25/22 and January 8th of 2023.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So when I suggested in my question that you, sir, selected certain things, that is completely wrong, isn't it?
That's correct.
Okay. And so I should have used this word. You would agree that you were focused on, by the question, you were focused on the title cheating wife, correct?
Yes, I was asked that in direct.
Oh. But you were never focused on direct examination as to the other porn movie, the Slay Dominant or whatever the title is, right?
That's correct.
And since you decided not to go back prior to December 25th of 2022, you really can't tell this jury how many times and how many different movies were viewed on this MacBook porn movie.
It's not entirely true.
Because of the 12 visits?
That's correct. So I could look at visits and it could tell me Pornhub was visited. I'm just trying to look here to see how many times. And then it would also tell me, the video would also tell me how many visits. But I'm not sure if that's the entirety of the Spire history or just what I've collected.
Right. You're not sure if it's the entirety of what? Finish that sentence.
The web history That's in the device, yes.
So you just don't know.
That's correct. I didn't go back.
And can I just have a second, Judge?
Sure.
So I want to ask you now some questions about what you testified to on direct examination.
Okay.
Let's just start with the iPad Mini 13, device number 5. That's been marked as Exhibit 81. You told the jury about the events that you looked at, the event log that you created, correct?
Yeah, so it was an iPhone Mini 6, not a Mini 13. The phone was the Mini 13.
Okay. And well, you told us about Exhibit 81 being locked and unlocked, correct?
Yes, for the iPhone.
Okay. And you told us about how it could be locked or unlocked using either a password or face recognition.
Yes, that's correct.
And how long did it stay unlocked and then locked in the time period that you looked at?
I would have to see the report again, but I believe it's a couple minutes for each.
Okay. And did you ever determine what was being done on the phone during the time it was unlocked?
Again, I'd have to look at the Cellbrite report to see other activity or go through the timeline view to see what the phone was doing. I didn't do a full invest into the phone. Trooper Keefe did.
I see. So Trooper Keefe can tell us about that.
I think so.
All right. It's fair to say that using Cellbrite, this software you told us about, you can create reports that include certain information and exclude other information.
Yes.
And you can create reports, so to speak, with the Cellbrite software that are restricted by date, correct?
That's correct.
And you can do term searches, correct?
Yes.
Well, you can, yeah.
Well, I was thinking my question was going to be if you're doing like an entire phone search or you're just looking, say, messages or web history, because there's different places to search these terms or whatever you're looking for, say a phone number or whatever.
Okay. So you can decide what information you want to look at using Cellbrite, and then whatever information you're looking at, you can dictate what terms you think are important to search for, and then you can search for them.
Yes, if I had specified terms that I need to look for, yes.
And did you do a term search on the MacBook for instance, divorce?
No. For the MacBooks, I didn't do any term searches. I just did by timeline from what was allowed in the warrant.
Are you aware of the fact that, well, let me ask you this. On that MacBook that you told us about sometime, the reference to divorce and all the things we heard on direct examination, that only occurred on 12/27 of 2022. Is that fair to say?
I can only say what I've looked for from that time frame. If anything happened prior, I don't know.
But my question is, what you testified to, the references that you were asked multiple times on direct examination regarding divorce only occurred on 12/27.
That's correct from what I have.
And what was the time period for where all those searches you told us about, referencing divorce, what was the time period?
I don't remember the exact time. I believe it was around 11 o'clock in the morning, but I could be mistaken. I would have to look.
What was the time period that was encompassed that covered the entire divorce searches that you referenced on direct examination?
As I said, I don't know the exact time. I would have to look to see.
And what time did those divorce searches that you referenced in direct examination, what time did they occur?
Again, I'd have to look at the notes to see the exact date and times.
But you would agree they only occurred on 12/27?
I believe that's the when they all happened, yes.
And one of the searches that you told the jury about had to do with something like 10 best states?
I think it was 5, but yes, 5 best states.
Did you take the time to look at those documents that were referred to those searches?
I don't know if I looked at all of the divorce ones. I did look at some.
And you would agree that if someone were to be searching for divorce, they could be searching for the topic of divorce and how divorce might affect protection of family assets. You'd agree with that, wouldn't you?
Could that?
Yes.
It could, yes.
And are you aware, Trooper, as you sit here today, that around that time of December 27th, are you aware of the fact that Brian Walsh and Ana Walshe were talking about the sale of one of their properties?
I did see Zillow searches in the MacBook for apartments in D.C., I believe, but I didn't know anything about sales.
Okay, did you ever take the time to examine the phone that belonged to Brian Walsh?
Again,
Has to form.
Is that
Sustains, specify what you're talking about, counsel.
what are the phones that you examined that were associated to Brian Walsh?
as I said, I only did a cursory look through the iPhone 13 regarding the device events, and that was about it.
So is that, would Trooper Keith know more about that?
Yes, he did most of the mapping. Yes, that's true.
Okay. So I guess my next question is, are you aware of text messages between Brian Walsh and Ana Walshe encompassing the dates of December 25th and December 30th of 2022?
No, there were none in the devices that I looked at.
So when you were asked questions about your review of the MacBook and references to the divorce on or around 12/27, you, as you sit here today, you have no idea what was going on in text messages between Ana Walshe and Brian Walsh.
That's correct.
And you said you reviewed some of the documents that were associated with the divorce searches. Did you see any documents that specifically referenced what states were more beneficial when it comes to fees and the timing for judgment nisi and things like that in the context of a divorce?
Unless it was listed on the webpage, I didn't see any specific searches for that itself.
And did you, as you sit here today, do you recall reading any documents associated with those divorce searches that had to do with protecting assets of family?
No, I looked at these years ago. I haven't looked at them since.
Those searches that you were asked about on direct examination coming from the MacBook and the data that you extracted, the many searches that had to do with Chase, you recall those questions?
The Chase Bank?
Yes.
Yes.
And it's fair to say that by looking at the data you based your direct testimony on, you cannot tell at all what specific data was being reviewed.
Again, if I can see the websites listed, sometimes it'll say you're in the accounts dashboard. It could list out, but again, I'd have to see exactly what you're describing.
Cooper, I guess the reason I'm asking, well, let me ask you this way. Okay. You investigate a case, correct?
Yes.
You're charged with looking at data like this, and you use specialized forensic tools to look at the data, correct?
Yes.
And you're trained to look at the data and try to interpret what the data is, correct?
Yes.
And then you share that information, don't you, with the Commonwealth, correct?
Correct.
And so now you were brought in here as a witness, and you were just asked questions about all of these searches that occurred regarding Chase, correct?
Yes.
And is it your testimony then today that the Commonwealth never sat down with you and said, tell us what you can tell us about what's being looked at on those Chase searches?
I wasn't asked to explain every Chase website to them.
Okay, but were you asked a simple question? Can you tell us what the person actually viewed with regards to a Chase account?
Again, if I see the data, I can explain it, but I can't say everything.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
And I'm not.
Yeah. No, I don't understand your question then.
Well, have you sat down with the Commonwealth in the context of this specific case and those Chase searches and tried to explain to them what it is, as the digital expert in the case, what was being viewed on the Chase accounts?
Just that Chase had been, the website for the Chase account had been visited.
And that's it.
That's correct.
Okay. You would agree with me, wouldn't you, Trooper Greeno, that when someone enters specific search terms, then the browser or the search engine that they're using will generate a number of results, correct?
Yes.
And then the user can click on some of those results or bypass some of those results and just go to some other results.
That's correct.
And when you would agree with me then that when search results appear, they can lead the viewer, the user, to then follow that link and go someplace else, correct?
It's going to be based on the search term, and then it can send you to something similar, but not exactly what you wrote.
And is that what you told the jury about redirect?
That's correct.
And So when a user gets redirected to some other website or something, that's not at the... That's not a result of the user saying, I want to be redirected. That is the software doing it on its own.
Well, the user would have to click on the web page for it to open for them to see it.
Right, but to be redirected, it's the algorithm or whatever's going on that directs the user to some other website.
Again, but it's going to be similar terms to what that were written. It's not like they type in, basketball and they get sent to, something about space.
Oh.
Yeah.
Maybe it's me. I'm not asking that. I'm saying someone types in particular search terms, and then the software, the browser, then generates search results.
That's correct.
And at times, the browser and the software redirects the user to something that it thinks, hey, maybe this is what is relevant to what you're looking at.
Yes, that's correct.
And I know that it doesn't talk to the user, but you understand that.
Yes.
And you saw instances of that in your review of the data in the MacBook, didn't you?
Yes, I don't know the exact number, but there's a handful that I saw.
And Trooper Guarino, when someone is doing a search for something like how to dispose of a body, did you follow that link to the result of that specific query?
Don't know if that specific one, but I did go to many of the ones that were listed.
And so as you sit here today, can you tell the jury then that if you were to put in that particular query, how to dispose of a body, that the results would include things like cemetery names or other things like that?
Well, it would constantly change. So if I did it now, the results would be nothing like they were 2 or 3 years ago.
Okay, and that wasn't my question.
Yeah.
But that's fine. Let me ask it again. That if someone enters specific search terms like how to dispose of a body, the results could simply be, here, take the body to a cemetery, something like that.
Again, I would have to search it to see. I can't say
So you
definitively.
didn't do that.
For that specific one, no.
And so it's fair to say that when someone is using specific search terms, sometimes you have to add additional terms to get information that might be more helpful to what you're asking about.
So like adding more words? Is that what you're saying? That could be, yes.
So it could be the fact that to get more specific information about, for instance, how to dispose of a body, you would then have to add another search term like murder to get more specific information that you might be looking for.
I can't say.
So you didn't try that out in your context of your investigation in this case.
Again, this was years ago that I did this, so I have no recollection of it.
But you would agree with me, wouldn't you, that just in a general context, whether we're talking about terms like murder or any other term, sometimes to get more search results, you have to add more terms.
Again, I can't say for certain.
So, you would agree, wouldn't you, that your review of the MacBook data that you extracted that all of these dark search queries that you were asked specifically on direct examination, that they all occurred only after 4:52 a.m. on January 1st, 2023?
That I was able to see, yes.
When you say able to see, what do you mean?
Well, I didn't have anything going back prior to the 25th, so I only have what was limited via the search warrant, but everything was from the 1st to about, I believe, the 4th.
Right, but we've already been through this.
Yeah.
Let me ask you again. If you wanted to see if there was a search is conducted on this MacBook where someone is trying to figure out how to dispose of a body before January 1st of 2023, and you thought that was important to your investigation, once again, you could have gone back and applied for a warrant to see if there were, right?
Well, I'd have to show probable cause for the warrant to show why I would need to go back further than the 25th that I've already written for.
So you had no probable cause then to go back to the court and say, I have reason to believe that someone might have been trying to learn how to dispose of a body prior to January 1st of 2023 at 4:52 in the morning.
Objection.
Overruled.
That's correct.
In fact, in all of your examination of the data that you did look at, the data that you chose to limit to 12/25 to January 8th, you saw nothing in the data dating back to 12/25 that indicated any searches that were relevant to how to dispose of a body.
That's correct.
You saw no searches about anything about DNA or anything of the sort.
That's correct.
You saw no searches about how to get rid of blood.
Yes.
You saw no searches about how to use hydrogen peroxide to clean up.
Yes.
Yes, meaning you didn't see any.
Yes, that's correct. I didn't see any.
But you would agree then, just to try to end this particular process, that if you had what you've referred to this jury here, probable cause to think someone had tried to plan murder, you could have gone and applied for a warrant to see if there was data on that map.
Objection.
Sustained.
In your review of the MacBook digital data, did you see anything indicating a search for a man named William Festa?
Yes. Was that on? I believe so.
Do you recall when that search was?
I don't. I believe it was prior to January 1st, if I'm not mistaken.
So you have no recollection as you sit here today that you had a discussion with the Commonwealth about searches specific to William Festa?
No, that's correct.
By the way, I understand that these exhibits, these bindings, sometimes they're referred to as reports, but it's a report generated by Sullivan, correct?
That's correct. Or Axiom.
Or Axiom.
Yeah.
And regarding a report, you never wrote any report summarizing what it was that you found on the MacBook.
That's correct. I take it directly from the software. That way I don't make any mistakes from transcribing it from one to another.
And is it fair to say that this binder that you have there on the shelf, it's 1,034 pages long, correct?
I believe so.
And it contains many, many entries referred to as records, correct?
Yes.
How many records?
I can tell you in a second. 3,677.
Out of those 3,677 records created in this Celebrate report, can you tell the jury how many of those records are relevant to your investigation specific to this case?
The exact number of the records? No, I couldn't.
Can you give us an estimate?
No.
You would agree, wouldn't you, Trooper, that it's a very relatively small amount of those records, those over 3,000 records, that have any relevance to the point of the investigation of this case?
No.
Well, then how many records do apply to the investigation of this case?
Again, I'd just be guessing, but I think a good portion.
And what's a good portion?
I don't know. I don't have a specific number.
I got it.
Counsel, stay at the side of the bench.
Judge called a sidebar there. So he does like his hypotheticals. So now he's going with, okay, there's over 1,000 pages, 1,034 pages in that report, 3,677 records, 3,677 records. Out of those 3,600, how many of these searches were relevant to the case? He's like, well, I can't tell. Significant in number. Well, how many? Even if there were 5, even if it was less than 1%, doesn't mean that your client didn't search for how to dismember, how to get rid of a body. Does baking soda get rid of the smell of a dead body? Broken teeth on a dead body? I mean, it could be 1%. He could have had, 0.01% searches out of those that are relevant. That to me is that's a defense lawyer just throwing up dirt, throwing up smoke, throwing up whatever they want to throw up. So that's what I view that as.
I understand somebody needs an unscheduled break, and the day is getting long. Just at the 3:30 hour, we've done a lot of work today, so I'm going to let you, of course, use the facilities, but I'm also going to send you on your way for the day and we'll be back ready to work. The weather, I know you guys aren't watching, you're not listening to the news media, so the weather turned out to be nothing better, as my kids would say. Safe travels home. Before I leave you, I want to remind you, jurors, don't do any research about this case. Continue to be vigilant about not listening to any news media, any social media. Talk to anyone, don't do any research about the case. Continue to have open minds. With those warnings, you're ready to come home tonight. I appreciate your work. We'll see you back. You're ready to work in the morning.
All rise in the court, please. Close your notebooks.
Please be seated. To shut off their water consumption at about 1:45 to make sure we make it through the 2-hour afternoon. I'm joking. List. Does anyone need to raise anything with me this afternoon before we suspend?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So, Com will tell me who's on the agenda for tomorrow. We'll finish up with this trooper, and where are we going from there?
So we will have keepers of the records from Uber, Lyft, and JetBlue. We would have Sergeant Reardon from Cohasset PD, who is a K-9 officer. William Foley from U.S. Customs and Border Protection. Michael Kenyon from Swampscott PD. Maybe A.B. Waterman from the Massachusetts State Police. And then I'm trying to determine if we're going to have, based on witnesses' availability, is it going to be Connor Keefe, Davis Gould, and Heather Sullivan. I've been calling her Sutherland for about 2 months now. I apologize. So my hope is that in the next 20 minutes I'll be able to email counsel and let them know what that lineup will be.
All right.
But I think that would take us easily over a day to accomplish Sullivan, Gould, and Keefe. The others I think are very quick and we can get through pretty easily.
So it is actually more important that you're talking to each other than you're telling me what's going on, and I appreciate your continuing efforts to do that and to...
And we can alert the clerk too.
Oh, I know. She just saved me from some of the messages. Anyway, it's more important that you're talking to each other.
Yes, Your Honor.
Keeping me informed as I need to be. Anyway, everybody all set?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good night, everyone.
All rise.
All right, so yeah, somebody had to use the restroom, and then she just sent them home. Just have them take a 10-minute break. I mean, do they have to walk 20 minutes just to use the restroom? I'm so confused as to why they take such long breaks. All right, so tomorrow, Uber, Lyft, JetBlue, K-9, U.S. Customs, some couple officers, law enforcement, and then Connor Keefe, Sullivan, and somebody else. All right, so we're gonna watch. After we finish this, we're gonna watch the full Taylor Schabusiness hearing yesterday, or sentencing. So it's definitely worth it because we're gonna watch her attack the guard, which was pretty interesting. Not during sentencing, but before. Let me do this. All right, so let's just real quickly go through what we heard, and then we'll get ready for Taylor Shabibi. All right, so yeah, he was going on and on about these adult movie, and again, I don't understand. Other than he's just trying to throw smoke, dirt, whatever you want to call it, onto the proceedings. And again, with the 1,034 pages in the report, 3,600 records, how many of them are relevant? Doesn't matter. You could have 2. You could have 3. I don't care. You made a search. What person that's not guilty makes a search of how to dismember a body, how to dispose of a body? If you're innocent, you're not doing those searches. So I didn't. That to me is whatever. Whatevs. Yeah, so that's about it, you guys. All right, it's going to take me a few minutes to get set up with for Taylor Schabusiness. I'll leave you with, as I always, with Super Ball, little marshmallow over here. And I got little little Roger over here. What's up, buddy? Hi. You're a good boy. Oh, he's a good boy. You're a good boy. All right, you guys. Join me over at Taylor Schabusiness. I have a redirect set up. In case you do not get the redirect, let me show you the... I'll post the... Here is the link. Taylor sentencing. Super Bowl, yes. All right, so this is, there's Taylor's sentencing, so be sure you click on that. If the redirect doesn't work, excuse me, but it should. I need a few minutes to get that stream set up, and we will see you there. Thank you, mods. You did a great job today. Thank you to Aaron, as always. And thank you to you guys for watching us. Really appreciate you spending your afternoon with us. Afternoon is not over. Let's go over and watch the sentencing of Taylor Shabusiness. It happened yesterday. We streamed most of it, but we missed the very beginning, about 5 minutes at the beginning. So let's go and watch that. So with that, Taylor Shabusiness next. If you don't want to watch that, we'll pick up on Massachusetts versus Brian Walsh tomorrow at 9 o'clock. So until then, have a good one, and we will see you soon. Bye.